Hi Sagittarius, this is Astrologykiki with your March horoscope. And the focus this month will really be on your 4th and 5th houses. Your 4th house is the house of home, family, property, and your 5th house is the house of fun, love, children, dating, romance, sports. So we are coming off of a solar eclipse at the end of February, and that would have taken place in your 4th house of home and family. And so we may see some carryover of that, whatever happened at the end of February. The first week of March, Mars will be in that 4th house, and you may have a lot of communication with regards to home and family. So possibly you're thinking or communicating about or writing about property, buying, leasing, or selling, or something with regards to your family, your parents, your immediate family as well. Excuse me. On the 8th and 9th, Pluto in your 2nd will be in positive aspect, which is a sextile. This is a sextile on this day with Mercury and the Sun in your 4th house. So you could see some kind of opportunity around your 2nd and 4th houses, and a lot of communication most likely around those two. Your 4th is your house of home and family, and your 2nd is your house of earned income and possessions. So something around with regards to those two, maybe there's an opportunity to work from home or to gain some additional income at home, or maybe you're just budgeting from your home. Maybe you're going to do a renovation, and this is a great time to really budget for that. Towards the middle of the month, on the 12th and then on the 17th, Saturn in your 1st house will be in square aspect to, on the 12th, to Mercury in your 4th. So that just happens to be the same day. The 12th is the full moon, which will take place in your 10th house. So we are going to see some kind of push and pull between your home and your career, and they're going to both be square to Saturn in your 1st house. Now Saturn typically is not a very easy planet to have in your 1st house, and you may have been experiencing that for a little bit of time lately, but when you're looking at Saturn square to career and home, Saturn squares are challenging. They are tough. Saturn wants to teach you a lesson. It's not a very easy planet. It's a pretty harsh planet. And so you just may be running into some possible kind of identity issues with regards to family and career, home and career. Maybe you're having a hard time juggling between it all, making everyone happy, being in one place more than another and having that be an issue. So unfortunately, with that full moon, you may experience something along those lines. On the 17th, Saturn will be square to your Sun. Again, in my opinion, that's always challenging. That has to do with your 4th house of home and family. So you may experience on those 2 dates a little bit of an issue with Saturn. Saturn likes you to be conservative and cautious, careful. So that would really be my advice for those days, is whenever you're dealing with some kind of Saturn square, just try to be as responsible and cautious as possible. And on the 3rd week of March, their Mercury in your 5th house will be conjunct to Venus and Uranus. And what that means is that there's going to be a lot of talk, a lot of communication going on in your fifth house. This is actually a great time. There'll probably be a lot of surprises, unexpected events. And then there's Venus, which is a very easy planet. It's a planet of love and money. And it's there with Mercury, the planet of communication. And it's all in your fifth house of love, and children and good times. So to me, that third week should be a really positive time for you. Maybe some fun surprises, going out, being with people, having a good time. On the 28th, there's a new moon in your fifth house. How could you top off this wonderful month is with a new moon in your fifth house? So again, a new moons signify the beginnings of things, and your fifth is your house of dating and romance and children. So maybe you're having a child, or dating someone new. You no longer single, and as of somewhere around the new moon. So good times there. Just the end of the month on the 29th and the 30th, there are a couple of squares. Mercury on the 29th, Mercury is in your fifth house, and it squares Saturn in your first. Just be careful with your communication. Saturn wants you to be cautious. Mercury is the planet of communication in your fifth house. So whether it's with your children or a date, just be cautious, be conservative again with Saturn. And it's quick moving aspect. On the 30th, Jupiter in your 11th is square Pluto in your second. Those can be both very financial houses. So again, be cautious at that time. Use good judgment with money, and don't overspend. And that's your March. Thanks.